Modern technological architecture is built on a specific hidden cost. It optimizes for mechanical logic while ignoring human biology. The day-to-day experience is a relentless stream of digital pings and administrative bloat. These systems operate as if the human nervous system has infinite capacity, like a silicon processor. The legacy developer navigates this friction through sheer endurance, relying on biohacks and minimal sleep to keep pace with the machine's unyielding cues. This environment forces the body into a state of continuous physiological reaction, where the struggle for raw survival overrides the capacity for higher-order logic. Systems engineers call this dysfunctional decomposition, the physical breakdown that occurs when a biological node is placed at the center of high-velocity computational friction. Sensing this extreme environmental pressure, the brain triggers sympathetic overdrive, a manufactured panic prioritizing immediate reflexes over long-term planning. This constant state of alert systematically drains the prefrontal cortex. As working memory depletes, the ability to map complex logic or maintain executive focus evaporates. To fix this, we have to look beyond standard wellness protocols and address the physical logic of the operational environment itself. Managing the demands of the agentic era requires an architectural shift that mathematically isolates the human nervous system from the noise of the machine. The somatic override executes this critical isolation by initiating a literal phase transition from systemic chaos to a state of absolute biological stability. The core mechanism of this transition is the Ghost OpEx, a subsurface orchestration layer designed to carry the systemic weight. This decentralized agentic loop is pushed into the background, operating behind a firewall that separates it from the user's immediate perception. While the machine handles the administrative friction and data compilation, the human operator is freed from the burden of navigating bureaucratic queues and raw data processing. This architecture demotes artificial intelligence back to a mechanical level, tasking it with the repetitive, grueling labor that typically triggers a biological crash. This barrier functions as an entropic heat sink. In mathematics, entropy represents decay and friction, and this layer is specifically engineered to absorb that degradation. The Ghost OpEx traps the 80-hour computational loads and administrative spikes below this line, preventing the friction from reaching the biological threshold. With the machine managing the entropy below, the space above the barrier becomes a zero-friction ground state. Operating from this stillness allows for sustained, visionary focus. The architect can execute high-level strategy without the cognitive drain of constant environmental interference. Engineering excellence emerges when the machine absorbs the physical beating of the material world, leaving the human nervous system to operate in a state of restorative balance. Effective AI integration avoids the trap of assimilating human beings into an exhausting corporate grid. Instead, this architecture executes an inversion of anthropocentrism, extracting the human ego from the crushing center of the machine and moving it to the decentralized edge. Placing the operator at the perimeter forces the computational infrastructure to occupy the center and absorb the friction of the system. By removing the noise of administrative survival, the architect regains the cognitive bandwidth required for ethical arbitration and sovereign decision-making. In a landscape of increasing automation, a protected biological baseline is the primary requirement for elite professional execution. When we engineer systems to carry the weight of systemic friction, the human mind is finally free to focus on its true trajectory.